various aspects are there to be talked about, because it's a long preparation, long exam, so it requires a lot of planning and execution. So the success depends on how well you are able to execute the plan. So most of us have some or other plan, but the problem is when it comes to execution, many of us fail. So we need to, not only you should have a good plan, there should be good execution also. Okay. About us and ALS, you know it, but still we are there as an institution for the last more than 20 years. And hundreds of people have got through from ALS studying the way you is sitting today. They were sitting at that time many years before, or rather every year people come. So we have an excellent track record of getting or helping people to get through the exam. So more than 3,000 people during this time have already studied and got through, got some or other rank in civil services, I mean UPSC. If you are counting all the state service exam also, there may be many more thousands of people who have gone through this process and got through. So we have a good experience of training people, and this same experience we would like to use for you also. And in fact, we also know that this exam is ever changing, and every 5 years you will find some or other. I always say, after every 5 years a new generation is there. Okay, if you look that way, we are there in this training with many generations, and every 5 years we find a lot of difference in the syllabus. May not be different, but the approach, the way questions are being asked, the way questions are, the way we have to answer the questions, everything is changing. For example, this year you might have seen that in the preliminary exam, a new type of question has emerged. Any idea? They are given some pairs. Okay, this was never asked before. Okay, 4 pairs of questions. Suppose India and the states, or the states and capital. So 4 pairs, like UP, Lucknow, like that. 4 pairs were given, and then you are asked how many of these pairs are correct. Only 1 pair is correct. 2 pairs are correct. 3 pairs are correct. 4 pairs are correct. This question looks very easy, but that is the most difficult question, because you should know all the 4, then only you can answer it. And even if you don't know 1, then you will be in doubt, you may not be able to answer. Like then 8 questions came, not 1 or 2. So all 8 questions, for 90% of the people it got wrong, all 8. So that's a new thing which has emerged now. Now in your in the test which we give, we will also give that. We got the idea. This is how questions are being asked. This is also there. So initially when we saw that, it looked very easy for us. Then later on we realized that this is the most difficult thing, because you should know all the 4 pairs correct exactly, then only you can answer that. So normally in match the following, or earlier they used to give 1 and 2 correct, or 2 and 3 correct, like that. So even if you know 1, or even if you know a couple of them, you can deduce an answer from that given. But here no such option. You should know all the 4 pairs. So that is a new thing. So what I am trying to say is, we are also evolving according to the requirement, and silently we will be incorporating those things, so that there will not be any difficulty for you in getting the answers correct, or rather participating or clearing this exam. So anyway, so as I told you, ALS as an institution has long history. So we will live up to the expectations based on our history also. So please don't worry. And personally, about myself, because you should not hear anything from outside and tell about me. Okay, वो ऐसे था वैसे था, नहीं मैं खुद बता देता हूँ. Okay, so it will be better. So I am a mechanical engineer by mistake. Many of you are like that, I know it. So I will not ask you right now, how did you manage to get your degree? Okay, then it will be big, you will say it's a long history, sir. Okay, so I don't want to hear your history, right? So I completed it in 1992. Some of you are thinking, oh, when was that era? Huh? Medieval history or ancient history? So I completed it from NIT Durgapur, even though I am from Kerala. In those days, very less engineering colleges, no private colleges and all. Sarkari mein milne mein mushkil bhi tha. So that is how I landed up there. So in those days, there is a concept of REC, Regional Engineering Colleges. Okay, I don't know whether you know. Now that those RECs are converted into NITs. And in those days, we had 17 RECs across India. And there, every state had a quota based on the population. Okay, so if it is Durgapur REC means 50% of the seats are reserved for people of West Bengal, and the rest 50% of the seats are for students across India, and each state depending upon the population of the state. Okay, if UP has more seats because the more population. So like this, so it was like for national integration in those days. So we had all from students from across India, a compulsory hostel, Sarkari hai. So it was nice. So somehow I managed to get this degree, and then I worked. But in '94, I started. I got this idea of preparing for civil services and appeared. Those days there were only 4 attempts, so I could not get through. Thrice I wrote the main exam. Twice I went for interview. I did not get through. 97 was my last attempt, much before many of you were born. So I have more experience than your age. So don't give me ideas how to prepare for civil services. Okay. So you may give, sir, ye pada do, wo mat padao, ye theek nahi hai. Okay. So please don't give. So I started teaching from 98. So now it's my 23rd, kitna ho gaya hoga? 20, almost 24, 25, jo bhi hai, 24 years. Next year we can celebrate some if possible. Okay. So since then, I started, when I started teaching, I started with science and technology, polity, then international bilateral, geography. Okay, I taught almost everything except history. Okay, but nowadays I teach less, don't worry, you will not be bored by my classes. So that is my history about civil services. So since then, I have not done any other work. I don't know anything else also. If I have to stop doing this, then I will be yet another unemployed, I cannot say unemployed youth, unemployed Buddha in this market. Okay, so that will be the situation. So because I have not taught or I have not done anything after that except taking classes for civil service exam. Okay, so that is my background, and I hope you will not tell anything. You may hear many things other than that. Okay, other than this truth. If you hear something from outside, so kuch log bolega he is not from Kerala, some will say he is from Tamil Nadu, some will say he is from Bengal, some will say he will never clear graduation. Okay, but I have, okay, that is why I could write the exam. Okay, so you know it very well. So anyway, so in the beginning, just for your information, I started with mechanical engineering and physics as my options. In the first year itself, I realized my abilities. I shifted to geography and anthropology. So all attempts I took with geography and anthropology. and in geography I used to teach an optional subject here in ALS for many years till 2012. I used to teach almost 50% of the syllabus I used to teach in geography optional. Okay, so don't doubt my abilities in geography. Okay, if at all, whenever I come. Okay, so anyway, so I have done many things, but right now I will be concentrating in your batch, international issues and bilateral issues, current affairs, and some portions of polity. Okay, so I will be coming in those areas. So that is in general I wanted to say, so that you are very clear. And see, since 2010, about this exam, okay, since 2010, many changes have taken place. Before 2010, we had in preliminary also, there was an optional subject required. Okay, now we have only one general studies, okay, that paper 1, GS paper 1, we have 100 questions, you know it very well, and paper 2, it is what we call CSAT, 80 questions. This is a qualifying paper. You need to get 27, 26 point something, 27 out of 80. If you get that, you will clear this paper 2. No marks added for your final ranking in this. And negative marks are there, you know it very well. Earlier there used to no negative mark. In our time, we could answer all questions with no negative marks. Okay, so one of our strategy used to be, if you don't know the answer, mark C or D. Okay, automatically, and 1/4 will get correct without doing anything. So that option was always there with us. So right now you know it very well. Negative marks, only one paper, only 100 questions. So, and in our time it will be 150 questions in 2 hours. Okay, so we have done a different exam, 150 questions we were asked to answer in 2 hours. Now you are answering just 100 questions. So questions have become a bit lengthy, maybe to arrive at the answer it may not be that easy. So anyway, so that is about the preliminary exam. In the main exam, as you know, subsequently, I think 2013 they changed the pattern. Now you have one optional subject, which many of you might not have decided till now. No problem, we will help you in deciding it. It may take, you can plan, this is the time to plan all those things. And now all questions are in 250 marks, or sorry, papers are in 250 marks. So one optional subject into 2 papers are there, paper 1, paper 2, 250. Earlier it used to be 300 marks. Okay, so completely different now. And we studied 2 optional subjects. You are studying only 1. In GS, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Earlier only 2 papers there, so that is how they have adjusted. 250, 250, 250, and then essay. It's also 250. Earlier it used to go to 200 marks, so it has been changed. So 1750 marks. That is where your ranking will be there. Now, preliminary marks are not added for final rank, you know it, and plus 275 marks for interview. So the total will be 2025. In this, your ranking will be there, you know. Other than that, you are supposed to appear in 2 qualifying papers. One is English, another is a regional language or Hindi. In this, some of the states are exempted, as you know very well. That depending upon from which state you belong to, it is exempted. Like Arunachal Pradesh, then Nagaland, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Sikkim, and parts of Manipur. So these states, you on this day of exam, you can sleep at home. So no need to appear. That's a great advantage. But this is a qualifying paper, most people clear. But there are some innocent souls who fail in this also. Okay. Then if you fail in this paper out of 300 marks, you qualifying marks are around 90. If you don't get that, you will be disqualified from further consideration, okay, for that year. So that is a problem here. Anyway, so that is how what I am trying to tell you is things are changing. Now this GS, General Studies, 5 papers. In preliminary also, both are General Studies only because there is no separate optional. So everything is GS now, or rather plus just one optional of 500 marks. If you exclude this, everything else is common, general. All of us will be appearing in the same papers, no difference whatsoever. So अभी भी GPS चल रहा है क्या तुम्हारा? Except this optional one subject and 500 marks, everything is common and general, we can say. So if you count that way, so we have 500 marks out of 1750 in written exam is optional. This will be approximately say 28%. Okay, you can calculate it. That means 72% are GS and one optional is just 28%. Okay. But before, earlier when we used to write the exam, option 1, option 2, both are for 600 marks each. GS plus essay was 600 plus 200, 800 marks. So total was in 2000 and GS was just 40%. Okay. Now GS is 72%. So why I am telling this is, you may you may get consultancy from various people. The moment you are preparing for civil, you will ask many people about how to prepare, what to do, and you may land up asking some seniors also who prepared before or who got through. So if they got through this exam before 2013, please don't ask them for any consultancy for how to prepare now. Okay. You can go there for motivation. Dada jara bata do. Dada will tell everything, full motivation, but don't follow their strategy, because their strategy was based on 2 optional subjects and exam pattern was totally different. Now it is an entirely different ball game. So only motivation there, no strategy from them. If you are asking somebody who cleared, so before you take advice from anybody, you ask when was the last attempt. If the last attempt was in 2012, thank you. Okay, मजा आ गया आपसे मिलके. Okay, तुरंत बंद कर दो, नहीं है तो you will be in deep trouble. Okay, so that is one aspect. See, second thing is, in previously we used to have choice in the question paper. Okay, meaning question number 1, A and B given, write any one out of 2. So 2 questions and you have to write 1 answer. It's very easy. Even if you don't know the second one, you can write the first one and you will not miss a question. Or question number 2, A, B, C is given. So any 2 out of 3. So these kind of options were there. So that is why it was easy to appear in the exam, or rather it was manageable. But today you have no choice in the question paper. In main exam, 20 questions are there. I will be talking about all these things. All 20 questions are compulsory. You will not get even a single choice, not only in our GS, even in your optional subject, we don't have any choices. So when there is no choice, I mean, have you written any exam in your life till now where there is no choice? 10th, 12th, ग्रेजुएशन में तो कॉलेज में तो चॉइस ही चॉइस है ना. राइट एनी 3 आउट ऑफ 10, एनी 4 आउट ऑफ 10 वगैरह वगैरह किया होगा तुम लोग. आई डोंट नो, आई मीन आई एम श्योर डिपेंडिंग अपॉन दी fame of your university, this choice will increase. है ना, सबको पास कराना है. All these, in 12th and all, some state service, if you write the question number, you will get some marks. If the candidate repeats the question, you will get almost 40% of the marks. Why? Because the candidate understood that this is the question. I am not joking. तभी तो हम 99% पास वगैरह हो रहे हैं आजकल in 10th and 12th. You go to the exam hall. So if you want to fail in 12th these days or 10th, you have to refuse to go to the exam hall. Even if you refuse, I think police will come and take you and say, आओ आपको आना है, आपको पास होना ही था. Okay. So these kind of this is how last year I was told in CBSE the topper got 499 out of 500, first rank. Then she was not happy. She complained. She asked for re-evaluation. Where is that 1 mark gone? पता नहीं मिला कि नहीं. So that is our attitude. Now, if you come to UPSC with this attitude, you will have a heart attack. Okay, heart attack क्या? वैसे mental हो जाएगा, mental. Okay, so if you get 50% marks, you will be the topper. Okay, I'll come to that point. So anyway, so there is a sea change. Now here in any case, all I am trying to tell you is, so GS, which was only 40% earlier, now it has become 72%, I said. No choice in the paper, so that itself is very, very difficult. Okay, that has completely changed the dynamics of this exam. And the third thing is, now you are getting an answer booklet. These are all difficult things, to increase your difficulty level. UPSC has done many such things. Now, in that answer booklet, the questions are also printed. Okay, suppose you have to write in 150 words, a question is printed on the top, and you are given 2 sides of the sheet, maybe 3 sides of the sheet, and said you have to restrict your answer here only. Okay, you cannot. Suppose you wrote something and you realize it is wrong, you cut it, then there is no place to write it again, because allotted space is only that 2 pages or 2 sides of the sheet or 3 sides of the sheet, which is something again very, very difficult to manage, in the sense we have no liberty of making a mistake. If you make a mistake, or suppose you drew 2-3 diagrams, if the pages are over, then there is no space to write your answer. Okay, so that is a different problem. And but you may not come out with, saying that, okay, I did not get the space to write. That problem will not be there. But the other problem is, suppose in our school and college days, what did we do? Suppose you saw the question paper, you glanced through the paper, and you found that question number 5, you are very comfortable. You will tend to write the first question as question number 5, so that you can impress the examiner. Then you found question number 8 is your strength, so you will write 8. Then finally, towards the end, question number 1, which you did not know. That's how we do. I am sure you might have done it. I mean, that option used to be there in most places. But now in our UPSC paper, we have no choice. And you have to write question number 1 in question number 1 space only. So examiner will not check. You cannot tell examiner, please read first my 5th answer. There is no choice. So he read that, he found bullshit, so 0. Then question number 2, again another half mark. Okay. So if 3-4 questions are like that, even if you know the rest 15, your strategy of impressing the examiner by writing the best answer in the beginning, that choice is not there. Okay, you cannot do any such gimmicks. So in our time, we used to do all these things. And we were only asked to write, suppose you write question number 5 from page number 1 to 8, you have to indicate in the front page itself that in which pages you have written that question, that's all. So, but now these choices have gone. So all I am trying to tell you is, in the last 5-7 years, maybe you can say the last 10 years, the level or the difficulty level in civil service exam has gone up, and so accordingly we will have to plan, and that is what we will be discussing. So, all I am trying to tell you is, if you are consulting somebody who cleared the exam earlier, you be careful, because they may not be knowing, and if they come and write this exam now, they will not clear also. Okay, even if they study, it may not be that easy for them to clear, because the whole thing has completely changed. So, be careful about this particular thing. Okay. Anyway, so now come back. How many of you would like to be the topper, first rank? हाथ तो उठा दो, वो डरता है बहुत लोग. टॉपर इतना ही लोग चाहिए, बाकी लोगों को व्हाट अबाउट अदर्स? ठीक है, प्लीज. हाँ, टॉपर नहीं चाहिए, सेकंड रैंक वो भी नहीं चाहिए. तुम लोग बहुत मैग्नेनिमस लोग लग रहे हैं. सो व्हाट डू यू वांट? जो दोस्त हु डिड नॉट रेज देयर हैंड्स, व्हाट डू यू वांट? क्या है, बोलो. What for what you have come here then? क्या करने आया? बोलो, कुछ तो बोलो ना. क्या है? What is your aim? Now I will ask one by one. फिर बाद में मत बोलना कि मुझे क्यों पूछा. तो टॉपर नहीं बनना है, तो what is that you are expecting? लिस्ट में नाम. ओके, सो योर नेम इन सम लिस्ट. यही लिस्ट. अच्छा अच्छा, मैं सोचा योगी जी का लिस्ट में है तो तुम्हारा घर उठ जाएगा. हाँ, ओके, सो बी केयरफुल. सो लिस्ट में नाम. So today morning also when I was reading the newspaper, I found that in Prayagraj they have listed 87 people. तुम्हारा नाम तो नहीं है? अच्छा, तब तो ठीक है, लिस्ट में नाम. ओके, सो लिस्ट में नाम. लिस्ट में अगर लास्ट नाम है तो कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. I mean, you may not even get a service. By the way, even if you get a rank, it's no guarantee that you will get a service. You know that? Especially towards the end, towards the last ranks. Last rank means, suppose in general category, suppose there are 500 seats. Suppose you are 498th rank in general category, or 495th rank maybe, or similarly in OBC, SC, ST, all. See, UPSC has only the power to recommend the name of the successful candidates. So that is why when you finally clear the exam, what will come to you, or rather when you check, you will say, and if at all you get a mark list, or rather when you download it, the last में लिखा है, comment लिखा होगा last column, उसमें they will only write recommended. उसमें ये नहीं लिखा है कि passed or failed or anything. If you fail, it will be written as not recommended. Your name is not recommended. That means what? UPSC has recommended your name to DOPT, Department of Personnel and Training. Now, based on that recommendation, President of India, when after doing all paperwork, the President will issue a appointment letter saying that I am pleased to inform you that you are appointed. Okay, President, his pleasure is very important now. Okay, but if after getting the recommendation, DOPT need not accept the recommendation, need not give the appointment by saying that there is no vacancy or we have changed the policy, हम इस बार किसी को नहीं ले रहे, I am not taking anybody this year. So all these options are there, but that is only for normally only for 3 or 4 people. I know somebody, that's why I am telling, in my time, my friend who got through, but unfortunately one of the last ranks, finally he celebrated also when he got through. पूरा गाँव वाले को खाना खिलाया, कम से कम 15 बकरा कटा होगा उसके नाम पे. लेकिन finally when the letter from the DOPT did not come, he inquired and they said that there is no vacancy for you, because he was in OBC. So he was told there is no vacancy this year. So, even though your name is recommended by UPSC, we are not appointing you. बेचारा दुखी हो गया, and he cannot move around anywhere, he cannot go to his village also because इतना celebration हो गया, everybody is asking कब जा रहे training, so बुलाए तब ना. So then he had to go to the court, and many years of court battle. I think he fought for 5 years. I mean, Indian courts, you know, it takes time. Okay, first he went to the lower, the Central Administrative Tribunal, then he went to the Madras High Court, then he went to Supreme Court. Even after Supreme Court verdict, they did not appoint. Then he had to go to the court for contempt of court against the government. Finally, he was appointed in 98 he got the recommendation. Finally, he was appointed in 2002 or so. Anyway, so there are many such cases I know. So that, please don't worry, that is not a general thing, that is an exception. So my question is, list mein koi naam, that is not sufficient. At least, you know, how many of you are not interested in IAS? Okay, IPS. IPS. IAS and IPS? Not interested. Not interested in what? क्या है? IFS. अच्छा ठीक है. IAS, IPS. IFS भी लिख लेता हूँ. अब बताओ. Not interested in any of the three. ऐसा कोई है? कोई नहीं है. सबको ये minimum चाहिए. है ना? So anyway, this exam is also for these three only. Okay. And see, if you are in general category, you will have to get around 80, first 80 ranks, then only you will get IAS. Around that, I mean, 1 or 2 here and there, I am not saying. And IFS also by and large same, maybe 80 to 85 maybe. Not much different, because in IAS we have a total of 180 seats. IPS we have 200 seats. And IFS we have 40 seats. So in that reservation, you know it very well. And if you are talking about general category, it's only 40% of the seats are available. The rest are all in various categories of reservation, including the so-called EWS. Okay. So we need to have around this kind of a rank, and IPS maybe, you know, because many people may not be choosing IPS, some of them are not eligible to become physically not fit, you know, eyesight, height, weight, all are problems. So if you go by that, I think in this you may get up to maybe 250, not more than that, rank. And other categories, depending upon the quota, it will be slightly varying, but generally something like this. So when you start preparing for this, you should be thinking of, I mean, if you say IPS, but most of you said IAS and IFS, so then your rank should be within 100. Okay. So now my question is, what is to be done to be within the first 100 ranks? And that too, in how many attempts you want to become IAS? One attempt. एक बार मैं करूँगा, है ना? Fully agreed. So that one attempt, and IAS, first 100 ranks, not less than that. We will not compromise in our target. Okay. So what needs to be done? What is to be done to be within the first 100 ranks in one attempt? So when is your attempt? टाइम लिख लेता हूँ ताकि उसी टाइम तक IAS होना है हमारा. When is that? 2023, है ना? Some of you may not be happy, but still I am presuming that most of you. So May 28th, 2023 is your preliminary exam. Okay, and if you clear this preliminary in October 2023, you will write the main exam, and in January 2024 you will face the interview, and in April 2024 you are, okay, you will get through. Okay, I understood. First attempt. Now one attempt, and if you want to get through, what needs to be done? एक ही बार करना है, करेंगे ढंग से करेंगे, we will do it properly, we will do only once, and if you know that this is what you want, कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा, we have to do something. So what is that you will do? What should be done? Who will get through? What kind of people can get through in one attempt? Or what needs to be done? Tell me. Right strategy. Okay, right strategy बहुत लोगों के पास है. Right strategy. What else? ठीक है, बोलो ना. Right strategy और dedication. Very good. Dedication or hard work. 950, yeah, right marks. Okay, marks लिख लेता हूँ. The right marks. Confidence. ठीक है, और discipline. Proper execution of strategy, consistency. दो आ गया, बाहर से भी आ गया. Consistency, execution of plan. और patience, understanding the demand. Demand क्या है, किसका demand? Question paper, question का demand, right? Understanding the demand of the question. क्या? Syllabus? क्या बोला? Something? Decoding the syllabus. Okay? Decode. ठीक है, वो सब कर लेंगे. So out of all these, consistency very important, no doubt regarding this. Many people are talking about consistency. So out of all these, if you have to choose one, which will ultimately make you IAS? मार्क्स तो है, वो तो समझ में आ गया, बिना मार्क्स तो होगा ही नहीं. So उसमें I have no doubt. Right, marks. So out of these, so many adjectives you used, best or rather the most important? Hard work. Hard and smart work. Smart hard work. ठीक है, smart hard work. अरे ये smart work क्या होता है? What is this? What do you mean by smart work? Less time or no study, full output. Yeah. So I know that smart work is that. I mean, we need to have minimum input and maximum output. Okay, so less study or minimum study, maximum output. I agree. So we need hard work, some smart work also, because that's very important. Okay, no doubt. See, because the smartness will come in your approach only once you know when you have a holistic picture. Certain things, I always say in this part of the smart work, you need not be very emotional about knowing everything fully, properly, with understanding. Yeah, I know you should know things with understanding. So my strategy is 80% with understanding, when you study something, 80% of the information should be with understanding, proper understanding you should understand, then you should study, and maybe if required 20% without understanding. Okay, when I say this, the idea is that you should not be wasting time for some trivial thing. Suppose something is written in the NCERT book, some sentence you did not understand properly. Why is it written? See, because after all this is written by some genius. NCERT books are not prepared by some ordinary people, some senior professors with normally to write the NCERT books, a panel is there, and they have some sort of a camps to write each and every sentence. Somebody will be preparing, a panel will sit and review each sentence, and they will try to make out what is exactly written and whether the student will understand. Suppose a professor at the age of 55, he or she, if it is writing the NCERT and if it is to be understood by a 6th standard child, so they will try to make out, but even then there may be some sentences which normally we may not be able to make out. So all I am trying to say is that if you have a couple of sentences here and there which you did not understand, you should not be emotional and say, no, I will understand, then only I will proceed. Then you cannot call up the professor who wrote the book, and uske liye agar time lagayega, so it may take many days to clear the doubt. Okay. So what I am saying is, certain areas to save time we may do. That is what smart work, some of the, that's part of the smart work I am talking anyway, that we can do. So out of this, if you have to choose one, I will always choose discipline. Okay. Success and failure will depend on this. Now, it can, if you are disciplined, you will do hard work. If you are disciplined, you will have consistency. Then, then if you are disciplined, you will be able to execute your plan. If you are disciplined, you will have automatically, you will have patience also. So all these things are linked. So I always insist, and I still believe that the success will depend upon how disciplined you are during the preparation. And discipline, my discipline will decide my destiny. So when I say this, it is applicable to everyone. It is applicable to any field. Only disciplined people can be successful. Whether it is cricket, whether it is football, whether it is anything, any field, and even politics. If you are disciplined, if you can work hard, and if you have patience, results will be there. If you are not disciplined, and if you are not having any plan, a proper execution strategy, somebody said that proper execution strategy also can be implemented only if you are disciplined in your life. And for that, the bare minimum expectation is you should have a routine, daily routine, timetable, and you should be able to execute that. And you should have complete clarity regarding what will you do in on every day, okay, and how many hours you study, how many hours you attend the class. All aspects will have to be taken care, and this is a must. And you may say that you are repeating this, those who heard me earlier, you will say, ye to us time mein bhi bola tha. I will say every time, whenever you meet, I can tell this, because if you are not executing this, or if you are not having a routine, if you are not having a timetable, then all your effort will be wasted. You will not be able to make it that easily. Okay. So anyway, so please think of it. You plan today itself, you make a timetable, and now the second point is how much time you can spend every day. There are two aspects of this time. One is this long time of preparation. So today, when we are looking at final rank, how much time is required if you are attempting, if you are getting through in one attempt? From today is 14th of June 2022. नहीं hours नहीं, I mean months to get the final rank, which you said in one attempt. Okay, that is April 2024. This is 22 months. So, even if you have to get through in one attempt, you require 22 months. Okay, and no result before that, even if you are in a hurry, मुझे अभी चाहिए, ठीक है, but that will be there, even that the earliest possible rank is or result is in April 2024. So, we need to have patience till that time. And if you did not get through in one attempt, if you did not get the right rank, the top 80 or 100 ranks, and you will be appearing again, then you will get your result in 34 months, or what we say in 2025 April you will get the result, if you are taking a second attempt. But if you are taking a third or a fourth or a fifth, okay, it will be like next generation, agla janam tak. So, you will come, I know some of you will come in 2030 also to me, sir, मेरा clear हो गया, अभी interview जा रहा हूँ. We get such people now who attended in 2012, 13 and all, suddenly they reappear and say, देखो sir, मैं आ गया. Very good. So, what I mean, we have, this is a problem also, we have plenty of time now, in the sense, right from the age of 21 you can appear, and you can appear up to 32 if you are general category, if you are OBC up to 35, if you are scheduled caste, scheduled tribe up to 37. So, plenty of time. Okay. So, don't take it unnecessarily. We need only a couple of attempts, but if you do it properly as early as possible, that is the best thing. But suppose you attend the class now and you say, I will appear only in 2026, then you will say, I will clear only in 2030. हो सकता है, there is always possibility is always there, but that will be a wastage of time, a lot of time will be consumed. Okay. So, anyway, so this 2 years of minimum dedicated work is a big challenge. Okay. So, you need to have a lot of patience and a lot of perseverance and that confidence for a long time, discipline. So, time, as far as this long period of time of preparation, you should have it. If you have some other plan, please do not prepare for this exam. Okay. If you think I need to get through in 1 year, it is not possible. There is no mechanism in this country to clear this exam in 1 year. Okay. And you have to start now, then it will take 2 years. Okay. So, be prepared for this time, and if you ultimately fail, that failure may not be because of your lack of ability or lack of clarity or lack of what you call your mental setup and all. Many a times you fail because of this long time period. Most people fail because of their inability to focus for the entire 2 years. If you lose focus at some point of time, that will be end of the preparation. Okay. So, suppose you are very focused until the previous day of preliminary exam. Okay. Till then we were all good, but one wrong strategy, one wrong approach, everything is gone. Yesterday also, one candidate, she came from all the way from Chennai to meet me, because some of her senior who cleared this exam in 2010 or 11, he is an IRS fellow, he said go and meet him. So, she came. Now, when it was her third attempt, and she is saying I am going to fail in this preliminary also, that is why she came and met. So, she was saying, I asked what went wrong, I was just asking, generally asking. Then she said, sir, I have a problem previous day of the exam, because of that anxiety, excitement, I cannot sleep. Okay. So what she did was, Sunday is the exam, Friday night, she did not sleep, thinking that if you don't sleep for one night, 24 hours gone, next day you will get sleep. So ये सोच के Friday नहीं सोया. Saturday also, when by late night, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, she is not able to sleep. Finally, karte karte, she did not sleep Saturday also. So 2 nights did not sleep, went to the exam. Paper 1 was okay, morning 9 to 9:30 to 11:30 she managed. When it came to that CSAT, paper 2, she was saying in a reading comprehension, she could not see the letters, ऐसे देखना पड़ रहा है. Okay, the eyes became blur and she could not read, and finally she could not get enough marks in paper 2 and failed. Now what I am trying to say is that you work hard for so many months and years, and finally the previous night you do such nonsense and you fail. There was another candidate, very interesting fellow. He is IAS already now, so I will not disclose the name. So what this man did is, so he was so confident. I mean, 2 times he cleared preliminary, and once he wrote the main. So he was third preliminary he was going. So wrote the preliminary, first paper. Then when he came out of the hall, he met his girlfriend. तो बोला कि चलो खाना खाते हैं ये वो. So went to a restaurant and all. तब then somebody told, तो बात किया. Then somebody told, the more energy के लिए थोड़ा what is that, Red Bull क्या है आजकल मिलता है, हाँ, और red color वाला क्या है, I don't know, I have not drank that. So whatever it is, for so that ना CSAT के लिए ज़्यादा energy चाहिए, Red Bull या जो भी है, तो CSAT के लिए वो पी के भाई साहब आ गया. Okay, now the problem is, because of that whatever he drank, he might not have drank before properly, so he could not concentrate on any question. पढ़ रहे समझ में नहीं आ रहे, फिर पढ़ रहे, so करते 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 he could not complete even half the questions, and he failed in preliminary because CSAT he could not get the required number of marks. Just imagine one foolish thing. Everything was fine. So next year again he cleared and he got IAS also. That is another thing, but not many people will get this kind of opportunity. Okay. So what I am trying to say is, you do everything, but if you lose focus on one day before the exam, or one day before in main exam we have 9 papers, in one paper if you are not concentrating you lose, or even in interview, ultimately because of some lack of concentration for the last 10 minutes of the interview or 5 minutes of the interview, you can spoil it and come out. Okay. So what I am trying to tell you is that you need to be focused till the end. Your attempt, or rather your focus, you can relax only after. That's what I always say. Only after your interview is over and you are outside the interview room and the door is closed. Till then, you have to be fully focused. At any point of time, if you lose focus, you will lose your career. So problem is, many of us are not able to focus till that point. This is a single-minded devotion and focus, and if you lose focus, now you are here with so much of planning and I will say so much of energy and josh, but if you lose it at some point of time, maybe after a couple of months, many of you will lose your focus after a couple of months. So you will start getting ideas from outside. I said you should focus for next 2 years. You may not be able to do that. Then you will get many friends. They will start saying, "यार ये सब बेकार की बात करता है, कोई जरूरत नहीं है." I will say, "You read NCERT." You will say, "No, I will not read NCERT." Why? Because somebody else told me. That friend told this, Dada told this, Didi told. So कुछ नहीं है तो चाय वाला, दूध वाला सब advice करेगा तुमको. Then you will say, नहीं मजा आ गया, यही advice सही है. So if you lose focus and if you are misguided and if you turn in a different track, and this is possibility is very high because of the long time, and you will be frustrated also at some point of time. Today you feel very confident, but tomorrow you may be feeling a bit low and you may think that I am not going to get through. So, these kind of problems will always be there. So, at every time, every point of time, if you are fully focused and if you are devoted and if you are clear and if you are not distracted. See, distraction can be various ways. Suppose you are not well, if you are not physically fit, sometimes it can so happen because of if you are in Delhi and so many problems like now this all very heat stroke situation. So, there can be heat stroke, there can be what you call loose motion, because of this heat, and you eat from here and there, of course it is not homemade food. So, even homemade food will create this problem. So, you can imagine. So, all problems, and if you are not able to concentrate, or if you are not able to study, winters, then it will be very cold, all problems will be there. So, whoever can withstand, whoever can focus, whoever can that proceed with that single minded focus, only such people. So, time is a big factor, please do not forget. If you fail, many a times I found that your inability to focus till the end, inability to concentrate till the end is the reason. Otherwise, any one of us can get through, that is not a big deal. Okay. So, see this exam, this is the difference of this exam. This exam is not about your genius or anything. It is slow, steady, consistent, hard work, systematic. You have to consistently do the same type of work for a long period of time. Every day you will have to sit and read, every day you will have to write answers, every day you will have to read newspaper, every day you may have to solve papers. So, it is a slow and steady, similar activity, repeated activity. This is what is going to make you successful. Okay. So, time is a big factor, and the third thing is everyday routine. Every day how many hours? See, now if you want to get through in one attempt and you want to be the champion in one attempt, you may have to put in some extra effort. How much you think you should do? How many hours of hard work every day? 8 to 10 hours. Is it true? How many hours? Including the class. How many hours you think you can do? First of all, you have to become IAS, and that in one attempt. तो फिर तो कुछ extra effort डालेगा ना? कितना? See, this is very important, and time is a factor. Now, if you are somebody is asking also, if I am working, what to do? So, if you are working, you have to work also. All of us have only 24 hours. है ना? I always say this, time is the most democratically distributed item in this world. All of us have 24 hours. Prime Minister Modi also has 24 hours, and you also have 24 hours. Even a beggar in the street, he also has 24 hours. So, how to utilize that time is the only challenge. Okay. So, anyway, so there are every day you may have to do 5-6 things. One is your class, GS class, then self-study of that, self-study at home, whatever is taught in the class you have to study on the same day. Then you may have your optional subject, optional class, and it's self-study. You will have to read newspaper also. You have to do NCRT also. You have to solve questions, practice. You may have to solve a bit of mental ability, maths, practice may everything will come. So, we may have to do 4 or 5 things in a day, every day. So, class is for 2.5 hours. If you have to go and do the self-study, I think 1.5 hours of that. Optional minimum of 2 hours you will have to study every day, minimum. If you have class, it may be more. Newspaper, how much time? Newspaper, current affairs, how much time you will spend every day? All put together, I will say 1.5 hours, all current affairs, revision, everything in that not only reading newspaper, we have to even revise the notes which you made. NCERT minimum of 2 hours. कितना हो गया? Okay, practicing questions, multiple choice questions, maths, mental ability, reasoning, all at least 1.5 hours. Now, depending on your ability, you can increase. You say, I want to decrease. Okay, you please decrease. But it cannot be much different. It cannot be 6 hours. Okay, you cannot say, I will say total, everything put together, I will do 6 hours. It may not be sufficient. Now, you may be saying that if I am working, what to do? See, you will have to balance. You know, how many hours you can take out. See, if you are working, I am sure at least 8 hours you will be asked to work. So, naturally, and how much is the productive time you can use? I mean, for going to the office, maybe 2 hours. Then, how many hours you want to sleep? Huh? How many hours you think you should sleep? उसमें तो clarity है ना यार, वो तो full clarity होगा. 7 hours. I will say you sleep 8 hours. No problem. But utilize the rest of the time. See, you should not be compromising on the sleep hours. You sleep, let the brain, get rest. But after you wake up, you please utilize it properly. So that is more important. Anyway, so 7 to 8 hours of sleep, and then if you are working, then there is limited time. Maybe 4 hours you will get if you are working. But if you ask me, is it sufficient? I cannot comment on that. I always believe if you have to clear in one attempt, you should be spending, a minimum of 10 to 12 hours in a disciplined way, dividing into various activities. You can make it a bit up and down. When I said 2.5, class will not change, but maybe self-study, maybe 1.5, it may be 2, depending upon the topic. Some areas you may be already knowing, it may be your graduation subject only. So, maybe, then you may be spending less time for self-study there. NCERT you might have already read. If you have not read, no problem, we will read now. So, I am not presuming anything. If you already read, then you can consolidate your NCERTs, you can revise it. So, same way, we will have to plan. So, you should have your own plan. It should be your plan. I have just given a broad outline. So, you have to spend the time properly and wisely and with discipline. Once you make the plan, you should execute the plan. You cannot compromise on this. See, 6 out of 7 days, you should be executing this. 1 day concession. 1 day you can fail. Okay, 1 day you can take a half day break also. 7th day, half day break. Not full day break. Okay. See, you have to do it only once. One time, next say 1.5 years, so till the main exam at least, that is the focus time, and then there is always a possibility to relax. So, see, but this 1.5 years can change your destiny, your future. Okay, everything will change, everything will turn upside down. So, that should be the spirit with which you should be doing. So, I talked about discipline, I talked about time. Time, not only the long time, everyday time, you should be having a proper plan, and that will make a lot of difference. See, we will guide you, guidance will never be a problem. Okay, please don't worry about that. We will guide you properly, we cannot misguide you. That the only promise I can give in ALS is we will not misguide you. I need not misguide at this age to make some money. Okay, I am very clear about this. So, you can be assured of this, and if you get some different idea from different people, please come and discuss with me. Bolo, sir, you said like this, but somebody else is saying like that. What is your opinion? I can give a justification or clarification for that. So, you please feel free to ask this. Why are you telling this? Why are you asking us to study 10 hours or 12 hours? Somebody else told that you study only 2 hours. उन्होंने बोला उसके पास एक मैजिक पिल है, हमें भी पिलाओ यार, मैं भी खाऊंगा. Okay, so we will see that, but be clear. So there cannot be any. So proper guidance. See, guidance. What suppose you get through? suppose when you get through, what will be the role of ALS in your success? What will be the role? How much credit you will give? कितना देगा? अभी से सोचना शुरू हो गया, मैं ऐसे कैसे दूंगा इसको? ओके, ये तो मेरा सक्सेस है. How much credit you will give? 20%. ठीक है, थैंक यू फॉर गिविंग एटलीस्ट 20. कुछ लोग तो मना ही कर देगा, मैं गया ही नहीं उधर, आई हैव नॉट इवन गॉन देयर, फॉरगेट अबाउट 20% यार. सो हाउ मच यू थिंक वी कैन टेक क्रेडिट? He will give 20, I have no problem. 30%. Or 50%. ठीक है, somebody अभी तो ये चल रहा है ना, बोली चल रहा है, so ऑक्शन चल रहा है. How much? और कुछ ज़्यादा तो नहीं देगा तुम लोग, मुझे पता है. देखो, सक्सेस नहीं हुआ तो उसके पहले ही सोच रही इसको क्यों क्रेडिट दूं. आई हैव नो प्रॉब्लम, आई फुली एग्री. सी, इवन इफ यू से दैट आई डिड नॉट स्टडी फ्रॉम ALS, स्टिल आई विल क्लेम. तुम लोग फॉर्म फिल किया तो मैं क्लेम करूंगा, वो अलग बात है. ओके, उसके लिए मुझे कोई टेंशन नहीं. बट व्हाट आई एम सेइंग, दिस गाइडेंस एंड मोटिवेशन एंड ऑल हैज सीरियस लिमिटेशन. If I want, I cannot make you successful. I cannot. You will have to decide that you want to be successful. If I want, my son or relative will never become IAS. Unless otherwise they think that they want to become successful. Okay. So, if at all, if I want to, if you ask me how much percentage of contribution will be there from ALS, I may consider around 20%. That is because if provided you attend the class. Otherwise, only because you heard my bhashan today, I am not going to, that 20 will not be there. See, if you are, when we provide you with the material, the content, the class, when you understand the topic, that is only the beginning, that is only the basic foundation. Suppose you get all material proper, suppose you understand the whole topic, suppose you know what is to be written, everything, that will be only 20%, that will be just add to 20% of your success. But remaining 80% is in you. First part is, whatever you collected from here, this is the collection, guidance, ideas. It has to be this collection, the collected information, that has to be converted into knowledge. First requirement is, you got something today, you have to make it into knowledge, or rather convert it into knowledge. That is by self-study. Okay, you'll have to do that self-study. And if you study everything properly, if you know things, suppose I ask you a question and if you know the answer, then I will say you have added another 30% to your success. You have done half of the work. If you have the right material, the right content, and if you know that content, if you remember that through self-study, tomorrow if suppose I ask you about India, Sri Lanka, or other what is going on in Sri Lanka right now, or what is your understanding of the Sri Lankan economic crisis, if you are able to answer that question properly right now, then I will say you have knowledge about Sri Lankan crisis. If you say, sir, it is there in my notes, I have prepared a beautiful notes, and if I ask you where is the notebook, it is at home. Okay, tomorrow I will tell you the answer. Then you have no knowledge, you have only information, you have collected information properly in the hope that one day you will study that. When is that day? That auspicious day? Panditji will tell when to study. Then you will start studying. So, if you have only collected, if you have only notes, various notebooks in multicolor, underlined in various, these days you have so many ways to highlight it, then written in multiple color pen, blue color mein topic, red color mein underline, maja aa gaya, but if you don't know, if you don't remember, no knowledge. So, even if you have knowledge, so if you have good material, we have through the institute you got the collection, you did all your hard work to know it, then your chance of getting through is 50%, only 50%. Good knowledgeable people fail to clear even preliminary. That is because they have no practice. So, now your answer writing practice, your multiple choice question practice, it is a must in exam condition. See, many people I have seen, they yesterday that same candidate, I asked her, how many, how much, practice tests you have taken. She said, I might have taken at least 50 tests every year. I am talking. तो मैं बोला कि 50 टेस्ट लिया और तुम फेल हो गया, हो ही नहीं सकता. I said it is not possible. If you have taken 50 tests and then if you are walking into the exam hall, that is the 51st test, you will 100% succeed. After all, we don't require too many marks. 50% means you are, even in preliminary, you will clear preliminary with 50% marks, less than 50% marks. Then I did not believe. I said, no, something is wrong. You cannot, if you claim, then you tell me the truth. Then I asked, did you practice these 50 questions in exam condition? If 2 hours paper, you took a paper, sat for 2 hours, solved those 100 questions and then checked. Then she said, no sir. I said, नहीं किया मैं. फिर क्या किया? She read the questions. मस्ती में, ठीक है, first number 1 समझ में आया, I know, tick. Then question number 2, you did not know. Then you search the answer. Like that, if you do 100 questions, it is not practicing. This is not practice. If you are doing that, when I say practice, practice is in exam condition. Even if you are doing only 30 questions, but there should be a time. Suppose you say I am going to solve 30 questions, then you say, okay, I will, the time fixed is 20 minutes or 40 minutes, whatever time you fix, but generally we know. See, if it is in our UPSC, 100 questions and 120 minutes for preliminary. Okay. So, but if you know that you are taking the test from a known area, which you have already studied maybe from NCERT, you need not spend that 120 minutes and all, maybe one question 1 minute, not more than that. So, there should be not more than this time in any case, there should be a time frame, and when you practice it should be in exam condition. If you are only looking at the question and looking at the answers parallelly and say I completed one paper, that is not practice at all. And most importantly, please remember, whatever question you practice, that is not going to come in the exam. Okay. Suppose you practice 5,000 questions, solve 5,000 questions. Out of those 5,000, how many will come in the actual exam? Any idea? Maybe in your school time and all, many questions may come, repetition. In UPSC, you may get 5 questions, not more than that. Don't expect same question to be asked. Normally, they will never repeat. They will never repeat, something new will be there, and whatever you practice, the same question cannot come. So, even if you get 5, see, we are practicing not for getting those same question again. We are practicing such a way that tomorrow if a similar question come or in the same pattern comes, you should be able to answer a new question also you can answer. So, this practice of at least 1.5 hours every day is mandatory. If you are not practicing, don't expect any miracle in your life. Okay. Even if you believe in miracles, even if God himself wants to do some miracle, if you are not practicing, God will say, no, I will conduct miracle on the fellow who is practicing. Okay. So, do not expect any miracles here. You need to practice in exam condition. 2-3 things are always there. See, now answer writing and multiple choice both. So, all I am trying to tell you, to start with, we have the CSAT paper 2, lot of maths, mental ability, reasoning, etc. Buy any guide in the market, even for SSC, even for banking, so many question banks and guides, internet also you have plenty of them. You just make sure that you are practicing, say, at least for half an hour, 30 minutes, solve these questions. If you do not know, you can consult many of your friends who are the so called engineers. I will not ask how many engineers are in the class, it will be a shock for many others. Okay. So, too many, and too many people are claiming that they are science graduates. Claim hoga, graduation bhi hoga, but if I ask 1 + 1 is equal to, then you will say calculator though. Okay. So, if you have such problem, you please practice. There we cannot use any calculator in the exam. And one more point, let me just remind you, CSAT, it is not all maths. See, we may have reading comprehension around 30 questions, pure maths, arithmetic, it may be 20 questions, that is all. Another 30 questions reasoning. So, that is how the 80 questions are there. So, even if you are not very comfortable in maths, even if you are able to solve only 3 or 4 ultimately, no problem, but you have lot of reading comprehension, you have lot of reasoning questions which no maths is required, only thing required is practice. If you practice 100%, you can get 27 questions correct, if you practice. If you do not practice, even if you are an engineer or a doctor or a science graduate, doctorate in science, still no guarantee. Even if you are a maths graduate, no guarantee that you will clear this CSAT, because it requires practice. Solving questions, please make sure that every day at least half an hour, please practice irrespective of the class which we conduct. We will conduct some class also, but do not wait for the class. Every day do some practice, that is number 1. Okay. Number 2, half an hour you please practice answer writing, long answers, minimum. Okay. So, we will be getting questions for 150 words, maybe 200 words and 250 words. In your optional subject, maybe even 300 words also. Okay. But in optional you may get even for 100 words also. See, formula is very simple, many of you may be knowing, I am still repeating. See, we have 250 marks and 180 minutes, 3 hours paper. That is our main exam, all 3 hours, preliminary all 2 hours. Okay. So, 3 hours paper. So, if you go by this logic, for 25 marks question, how much time you can take? If it is 25 marks, 18 minutes. देखो ना यार, 250 divided by 10, 180 divided by 10, so 18 minutes. If it is 12.5 marks question, how much time you can take? 9 minutes. Okay, simple logic, no nothing else, because our paper is for 250 marks and we have to complete in 3 hours. So, this 3 hours is 180 minutes. So, similarly, if you go by this logic, and 12.5 marks question in our GS or even in optional, we are asked to write in around 200 words. Okay. You see the previous year questions, you can see that, especially last couple of years, they are not asking for 200 words, they are asking 10 marks question for 150 words and 250 words for 15 marks. If we go by this logic, A 150 words answer you should complete in 7 minutes and 12 seconds. And a 250 words answer for 15 marks you should be completing in 10 minutes and 48 seconds. Okay, this is the time which we can use. Okay. So, and so if it is 300 words question, so 300 words will be for 250 marks, I mean 200 is for 12 and a half. So 300 कितने का होगा? 17 and a half, 350 words will be for 20 marks. So how many minutes? It will be 15 minutes. Okay. So if you are writing in 350 words and 20 marks question, you can take 15 minutes. If you are writing for 250 words, it is 11 minutes, and if you are writing for 150 words, it is 7 minutes. See, this is what exactly you will get in the exam hall. So, all I am trying to tell you is very simple. When you practice answer writing, 150 words, 7 minutes, 250 words, 11 minutes, 350 words, 15 minutes. Normally, and 150 words are for 10 marks, 250 words 15 marks, and 350 words for 20 marks. Most of the questions will be in this range. If more words are given or more marks are given, accordingly the number of words will increase. Suppose only 100 words. How much time? Already 7 tha, it will become 6. In 2 minutes, you have to write 100 words, almost. I mean, it will increase like that, right? So, sorry, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, sorry, 5 minutes. 4 minutes, I mean, in 4 minutes, you have to write 100 words. So, on an average, 25 words. Anyway, so when you practice at home, when I say that you practice daily, so when you read NCERT, any book, end of the chapter, there are so many questions. Suppose you write 2 answers every day from NCERT. Tomorrow, every day, when after a couple of days, when full-fledged classes are there, at least 1 answer from the class. You will be doing something for your optional subject, 1 answer from optional subject. Previous year question or from the chapter, which you can decide the words you can fix. So, my request is you must write 4 answers every day. Initially 2 answers can be from NCERT book itself, because we have so many questions there, you need not have to search any question there. 1 from your optionals, from our class, maybe that you can decide. Okay, when I am just giving an easy formula for you, and maybe 1 answer from your optional subject which you decide. If you have not decided on your optional subject right now, no problem, then you write 3 answers from NCERT, maybe 1 from your newspaper also. You may have to create a question. If you cannot create, no problem, leave it. You have so many questions otherwise available, maybe even from the class. So, if you are writing, say 150 words, then you are spending 150 into 2 is equal to 14 minutes. If you are writing a 250 word, then another 11, and if you are writing a 200 word, another 9. So, maybe around 35-36 minutes it will take every day, but you must practice. So, your success will be critically dependent on this practice. Multiple choice questions every day, long answer 30 to 40 minutes every day. So, total I am saying around 1.5 hours, it can be including some maths, including some multiple choice question related to what we cover in the class. And finally, so this practice will add another 30% to your success. If you are only attending class, not studying, you will have good material with you, nothing else will happen in your life. If you attend class and study at home, you will have good knowledge, still you may not get through because you have not practiced enough. So if you attend the class properly and if you study at home every day and then if you practice on a daily basis, your chance of becoming IAS has become 80%. And the last 20%, that is the peak of everything required. That is your character. Okay. What kind of person you are? Are you a chore? Right from the beginning, even before becoming IAS, then why should I select you? Okay. So, this last 20% is equally important and you cannot create a good character during the interview time. Suddenly you cannot be nice. Okay. कुछ लोग करते हैं, कोशिश भी करते हैं, try भी करते हैं, but that normally doesn't happen. You cannot be an overnight gentleman. It has to be there in your character, because the last 20% is your personality test. Interview is called personality test. Okay. There your character is tested. What kind of person you are? Okay. Your suitability for the job, that is what is tested there, but we want to see your character, your personality test. It is not a test of English, it is not a test of your speaking ability, it is a test. You speak less, but speak sense, you will get marks. Okay. So, what kind of person? Personality. So, what is that is expected of a good officer? Suppose a district collector in your district, what is that you want to see in that IAS officer? Is honest, very good. First thing is honest. Humility, approachability, diplomatic also. मतलब hard things in nice words and diplomatically बोला आपका काम नहीं होगा. ठीक है, diplomatic. Okay. Then accountability. Syllabus मत बोलना. Okay. Accountability, aptitude, attitude, ये सब मत बोलना, please. I understand the syllabus. I know the syllabus. What do you want to see in that officer? Honest, humility, approachability, diplomatic, accountable. What else? Integrity. Okay, somebody is saying integrity. What is integrity? Okay. Honest even if nobody else is seeing. Very good. What is integrity? Person with integrity. कोई नेता का नाम बताओ, person with integrity. हाँ? पूरा पढ़ लो भाई सब, तुम लोग फिर तो आधा अधूरा पढ़ रहे. उनके नाम पे कितना बेनामी कंपनीज था, उसका एक लिस्ट निकाल दो. वो छोड़ो, I mean I don't want to comment any particular. जो मरा है वो उसके बारे में बोलो, so that we have no confusion. Those who are not alive, please tell about them, about integrity. It is easiest. Come on यार, महात्मा गांधी तो बोल दो. कोई नहीं मिला तो महात्मा गांधी तो बोलो यार. कुछ नहीं बोले उनके बारे में तो बोल ही सकता है. अभी तो he died in 48, उसको बूथ भी नहीं आएगा तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. ओके, बाकी सब भूल जाओ. तो इंटेग्रिटी इज व्हाट यू से एंड व्हाट यू थिंक एंड व्हाट यू डू should be the same. Very difficult. Okay, it's very difficult. But yes, there are people with good integrity, not maybe perfect integrity, but definitely good integrity we can talk. Honesty we need, humility, and a person who can get your work done, who can get the work done. A good execution, okay, get the work done, good execution. Who is polite? Somebody else is saying yes, who should be polite? Very good. Proper understanding of the problem. Okay. Sometimes when you go with a problem to the officer, and if the officer start telling his problems, and finally you get sympathized with him and say, मेरा problem कुछ भी नहीं है sir, मैं जा रहा हूँ, आपका बहुत बड़ा problem है. Okay. So good understanding of problem. We need an officer who is compassionate. Is it not? Who has sympathy towards others, okay? Who treats other fellow human beings as human beings. है ना? अब देखो, the demolition in Prayagraj was conducted by collector and SP standing, and then violating all norms, all laws in this country. And do you think they have any compassion? They are intoxicated with power. Only because the CM or somebody might have told, as an officer, how can you violate the law? How can you stand and participate in, declaring all norms in this country wrong? So this is the problem, these fellows, those who stood there, they have no spine to say their seniors that I cannot do this wrong. They are only participating because they will get some immediate material benefits from there, maybe as a promotion, good books of the leader, so next 5 years they can have good posting. Only for that, no integrity, zero integrity. Tomorrow if those officers come up and say that मैं बहुत बड़ा काम करूँगा देश के लिए, they are people with zero integrity, they have surrendered, they sold their soul at the altar of some power. Maybe, if they don't do this, they may be transferred. They may not get this prime posting tomorrow. So only for that, they have went and violated all norms and all laws. Hey, you cannot demolish a house overnight, and that too. Now today's Indian Express says that the house did not even belong to the person who protested or who was arrested. उसका नाम पे है ही नहीं वो घर. And suddenly they realize that now if I protest, tomorrow if you come and say that in your house there is some illegal construction, so I will demolish your house. So then we are not living in a democratic country anyway. So all I am saying that this is where your integrity, your compassion, your ability to speak the truth. So all I am trying to tell you is that when you come for interview, we are also looking on all these things. If you are displaying some of these characters, you will get very high marks. If you are not able to display, you will lose heavily. In fact, these days interview marks are very important in your success. If you are, in the written exam, even if you get 50%, if you get 50% marks, you will be the topper. This year is an exception. The first rank got very high marks. She got 932 out of 1750, which is almost 54%. But second rank holder, he got 871 out of 1750. 875 is 50%. Are you getting this? So such a huge gap, first time in the last 5-6 years we are seeing. All other people who got through the exam got less than this marks. So in the written exam, if you get 50%, you celebrate. Celebrate kya? You will be the topper, you will be the top 10, 100% guaranteed. if you get 50% marks in the written exam, top 10. But had you got this marks in your 12th, what would have happened? You would have been thrown out of your house, saying that nalayak, kuch padhta vadta nahi hai. Yes, to get 50% through CBSE or state board or any other board, you need to work hard by writing all wrong answers. जानबूझ के गलत लिखना पड़ेगा. Then you will get 50% of the marks. Otherwise, if you go to the exam hall, you will get 50% marks. Okay. So, but here in UPSC, we are old school, no marks for attendance, no marks for writing the question, no marks for attempting the question, kuch nahi, 0. Even in essay, people get 0. 250 marks question, of course, now 250, these days 0 is less, because earlier we are asked to write in 200 words, only one answer, and if that answer goes wrong, if you did not attempt the question properly or rightly, if you understood the question wrongly, you may get 0. But now 0 is not there because 2 questions are there. You cannot attempt both the questions, that way. So that way, people get 10, 12 in essay, just 10 marks out of 250 possible. Why? Because examiners read the answer. After reading, they concluded that you deserve only 10 out of 250. So be careful, not like university exam where they may not read, they may just see the thickness of the answer script and they will say, "Okay, bahut likha hoga." But here they read, so it's very difficult to get marks. So 50%, that means if you write an answer and if you get 5 out of 10, you should celebrate. Maja aa gaya, very good answer. Don't come and ask me, "Sir, what is to be written to get 10 out of 10? No matter whatever you write, you will not get. That is a rule. That is how earlier it used to happen. So that's what it still continues in UPSC. So written exam, it is very, very difficult to score even 50%. So if you are extraordinary good answer, if you write, you may get 6 out of 10. If you write a good answer, 5 out of 10. If you have just attempted and wrote something, maybe 2 out of 10. If you get 2, that means you just attempted, you understood the question and you wrote something but not sufficient enough. So that may not. So 5 marks and 6 marks, that is, your aim will be to get into that range, but it is very difficult, or rather you need to apply all all things in a proper way. So written exam marks are very difficult to get. But when it comes to interview, situation is totally different. Here they are more, more generous in giving marks. Okay, 275 marks. If you get 50%, how much is that? 275 is 50%. 137.5. If you get 60%, 137.5 plus 27.5, 60%, 165 marks. If you get 70, then it is 192.5. Okay. If you are getting 75, so it will be approximately 206, yeah, approximately 206. If it is 65, 165 plus 13, it is around 178. Okay, something like that. I just approximately I am just giving you. Now, if you look at the CS marks, you will understand the situation. First rank, she got 932 and 173. Almost 64%. Second rank got 871 and 179. So this first rank should be kept as an exception. Such high marks in the written exam we have not seen in the last many years. First time one candidate crossed 900 marks also, and it is very, very high. So, keep her as an exception. 871 is less than 50%. I said 875 is 50%. Please remember. Okay. And 179 in interview. So, 179 is 65% marks exactly. Okay. Third rank, he got 858. 858, sorry, 858 in the written exam, and 187 in written exam. So, 187 means it is around 68%. Okay. Fourth rank, 860 and 179. Fifth rank, 871, 165. 165 is just 60%, exactly 60%. Normally they take in percentage and is converted into marks. That is how you are getting that exact round figure marks. Then sixth rank, 879, cross 50%. See, sixth rank, 879. 875 is 50%. Okay. 879 and 154 only. This is very rare. I mean, this is, in the top 10, if you get somebody like this, I mean, I have not seen in the last at least 4 or 5 years, in top 10, somebody is getting just 155 marks in interview and then in top 10. Very, very. Had this candidate got some good marks, he would have been second rank. But luckily, sixth rank, no, not bad at all. I mean, sixth and second में हमें compare नहीं करना है, but ठीक है. But this is then seventh rank, 838 and 193. You see, 193. 10th rank, sorry, 8th rank, 862, 168. 8th. 9th rank, 829, 201. 10th, 831, 195. Okay. Now, in this, only one, or maybe even, let me put 3, 165 and 168. 161, that is all 60% plus. So, 9 out of 10 people got 60 plus. If you want to be in the top 10 or other in the top ranks, one minimum requirement is interview marks should be between or above 60. Normally it is above 65 plus normally. Okay. So, this 65 plus, one important thing is your character, the way you present your case, your background. Okay. So, please think of this. For this, you don't have to do anything separate. You don't have to study anything. To improve your character, should you read books? महात्मा गांधी का बुक पढ़ने से या हाउ टू क्रैक इंटरव्यू, क्रैक खुद हो जाएगा. Okay, if you try to crack and all. So, here the way you live, the way you behave, the way you practice, okay, day to day life. Okay, this is very important. You cannot change your character overnight, but over a period of time you can improve your character a good way. So, a couple of things you can always do. You only said here, kya chahiye, honest. Honesty so you can practice. Small things, stop telling lies. Okay, you can practice humility very easily. Okay, no arrogance. Most people and no lies. Don't say lies. So small things you can do. and have a disciplined life. What do you call punctuality, these things you can easily do. So, when I say you please come to the class on time, not only for our benefit, it is also for your developing a character, molding a personality, okay. And please practice this also, practice integrity, less diplomatic. वो तो सर्विस में हम डिप्लोमेसी दिखाएंगे, okay. Here let us be a bit straightforward and no pretense, okay. So 2-3 things we hate in interview, okay, वो तो हम बता सकते, what you should not do. One is arrogance and lies, झूठ बोलना फालतू का. You represented your class in football, but you wrote you represented school. क्या जरूरत है? Who will come and check that? But when you tell lies, there will not be any power in telling that. Okay, you represented school, you said I represented university. Okay, because in UPSC they are not going to check your certificate. What you write is final. They are not coming and checking your certificate except your 10th, 12th and graduation certificate and the caste certificate. That's the only thing they check. They want original only there. Whatever else you say for your in your biodata, what you fill in your detailed application form, whatever you say is final. They are not asking you to bring the certificates. So you don't have to prove anything there, but you will not have any energy to tell some lie that easily. So anyway, so don't tell lies unnecessarily, and no pretense, don't pretend anything. Okay, if you have nothing and if you try to be even polite, if you are not polite, that will be reflected in your answers. Okay, if you are arrogant, if you try to pretend that you are very humble, that will be reflected. So make sure that pretense are avoided, be natural and you know what is required. These are the things you require, and nobody likes an arrogant youngster. You may not be even understanding that, but no one likes it, okay. And especially seniors will never like, okay, because your interview is taken by the people in 50s and 60s in their age. Okay, please don't forget that they have more experience than your age. So make sure that no arrogance, no pretense, no lies, be honest, be punctual. Certain things you can always do, and your interview score can be above 175 marks. That is the minimum requirement. After doing everything, if you are ending up getting 130, 140 in interview, see, when we are counting here, I have not seen even one person who got less than 155 now. But if you look at the overall percentage or the people, there will be so many people in 140s and late 130s. So that is the normal thing, 130, 140 up to 150. So many will be like that. So that is not sufficient to get through this exam. So please be very careful. So all I am trying to tell you is, we need all four should fall in place, then you will become IAS in first attempt. If you miss in any of these four, you may write more attempts and you may not even get through also. If you are joining the wrong place to begin with, the most basic thing is collection, or the right material, the right content, the right guidance, the right strategy. That is just 20%. So many people have many strategies. I mean, you may be a champion of strategies. Have you not seen in our other day-to-day life also, in college also you might have seen some people who they know everything. Kya karna hai, what to do and what not to do, everything they will tell you, but they will never do. Tum kar lo, you do it. So, you may have the right strategy. If you do not have the right strategy, then the whole attempt is wasted. I mean, the whole 3-4 years are going to be wasted if you are not having the right thing, right material, right content and the right institute. If it is not there, everything is lost. You cannot, see, it is not just monetary loss. You may pay the fee, that you can, you can leave it. Money you can make again, but the time you cannot buy again. Suppose you spend 3-4 years and then you realize that you are at the wrong place, the wrong institute, the wrong strategy, then it may be too late and you may not be able to recover at all. Some of you may realize this maybe after your attempts are over. कोई फायदा नहीं है. So, content, no doubt, it's important, but it's only a minor or just 20%, the beginning. But your work starts from converting this content, this information into knowledge. And from there, if you have knowledge, you can practice good answers. If you don't have knowledge and if you say I have answer writing ability, it is useless. Okay, some of you say I can write good answer, very good, but if you don't know what to write, question is about Sri Lanka, if you write about Uganda, will you get marks? No, please realize this. So, then you may be saying, sir, आपको Uganda से प्यार है, ठीक है, मुझे प्यार है, क्या करूँ? Okay, so many of my examples will be from Uganda. So, okay, so what I am saying is, if you are not writing the answer, what is asked, no matter how good you are, see many people I have seen these days, even before in having the basic content with them, they are joining test series. They are not going to get anything because you cannot write a good answer if you don't know the content, if you don't know if you don't have the knowledge. So, then along with that, if you have character, you will make it. See, just see, this 20% when I am saying, it is not an overstatement. Please understand that. Because just see some of these candidates which I have written here. Say, the 7th rank, for example, 193 and 838, the total is 1031. 193 plus 838 is equal to 1031. Okay? Now, what is the percentage of interview marks in the total? Almost 20%, maybe 19%. This is what exactly I am saying. So, when I say 20%, you should not think that I am overstating the demand of interview here. Many candidates are like that. They are getting almost, see, 18, maybe some maybe 17%, 17 to 20% is anyway your final marks will be from interview. Okay. So, please make sure that your character building is equally done. Okay. So, that character is what you do on a daily basis. Suppose somebody, your friend, if you say, we know them very well. So, if I ask you, tell me something about that fellow. So, what is it? Hey, बहुत arrogant है, कभी नहीं नहाता है, हाँ, या झूठ बोलता है हमेशा, never come on time. No, we have 10 lists ना. If you have any doubt about your character, ask your friend. They will give a book. पूरा कहानी लिख के दे देगा. अरे इतना प्रॉब्लम है तुम्हारे में. You may say, suppose I ask you what is your problem, I mean tell me something about yourself, then you will start, I am very honest, I am very hard working, smart working, very disciplined. Ask your friend, hey गधा है, कुछ नहीं करता है, सोता है. So, if you have any doubt, you will get it from your friend. So, we will make out that easily. So, what I am trying to tell you is that you practice something. Now, if you want to change your character, start practicing those good qualities. Suppose you never come for something on time, start reaching there on time. After a month's time, what people will say about you? Previously, this fellow never used to come on time, nowadays he is coming on time. Previously, he never used to take bath, nowadays he is taking bath. है ना? बोलेगा नहीं? If you take bath, otherwise बीच में नहाना शुरू किया था लेकिन फिर बंद हो गया. Okay, so it will be a problem. So what I am trying to tell you that you live a new life properly for a couple of months, your character, that will be your character now. After 6 months, after 1 year, you know, those who are meeting you for the first time, they will never know your past. They will say, अरे यार ये तो बहुत अच्छा आदमी है, क्या हो गया इसको? We don't know. So this is very important. So character building is equally important, and please don't forget about this. Okay. So that is something which I wanted to be very clear. Now let us move into the syllabus a bit. So somebody is asking, tell me something about reading newspaper. We will be doing it because 3 days are there. We will talk about newspaper reading also. We will talk about NCERT reading also. We will talk about that, but just hold on. See, first of all, in prelim, we know it very well. GS paper 1 is GS paper 1. So if this year, if you look, it is quite balanced paper. We had history and culture, geography, environment, polity, economics, okay. Then we have science and tech. Then we have international relations, we have current affairs, we have GK, some general knowledge which cannot be termed as current affairs, it cannot be termed as any of these history, geography, if you look that way. So what you know, this classification can vary from different people, but I am not getting into those detail. I found that GK 4 questions were there, general knowledge, okay, something maybe from India yearbook and all, which you cannot classify into any of current affairs. Pure current affairs, I have identified 10 questions, okay. International relations, 7 questions. I mean, you might have seen that, no, like say question related to Afghanistan was there, you know, like that. So if you look the events which were happening about UN, a couple of questions were there. Science and tech, around 12 questions. Economics 15, polity, history and culture 14, even polity around 10 to 12, 1 or 2 questions here and there I just forgot. Geography and environment was also around 10, and it was around 13, 14. So I think 28, 38, 50, 65, 77, yeah, it's almost 100 questions, right. So 1 or 2 here and there, I am not claiming that this is 100% because I did not bring it in written form. Anyway, so what I am trying to tell you that we have many areas, history is there, geography, environment. So we need to, the bottom line of this is, now some of you can say this IR, current affairs, GK are all current affairs. You can put it and say that it is 20 questions. You can do that. Some of the you know, economic questions you can say it is current affairs. Some of the science questions you can say it is current affairs, like that. You can always you know, classify, but if you study economics thoroughly, we will have been studying it as part of economics only. Some of these questions in geography, when some of them may be termed as you know, current affairs, but we would have, if you study geography thoroughly, we will be doing it in geography only. So like that only we are doing it, okay. So the one conclusion you should make is, we should study all areas, okay. You cannot study something or other, you cannot pick and choose what we teach in the class. Please realize this is the most important thing in this preparation, okay. No selection of topics from our class. Okay. So, as a part of your strategy, since you have decided to rely on us in the selection of topics and material and content, please don't apply your brain in choosing further from this. Suppose I teach you 10 topics, then if you say, nahin, I will study only 6, इसमें मजा है, बाकी 4 I don't like, it is against my philosophy. You cannot do this. Don't select. We are already selecting. That is how we are able to curtail and narrow down on the syllabus. Now, on this narrowed down syllabus, you don't further narrow down, then it will be disaster. Then you will never clear this exam, okay? Because we are already doing lot of selection work. We are not studying everything possible in this world. We have already narrowed it down. Then you please don't do any more selection. You study everything from what is covered in the class. So, 3 things are very important for me, and please don't forget. Number 1, whatever we cover in the class topics and class notes. This is the most important thing. If you have no time, if you have only just 1 hour and you have many things to do, what is that? What will you do in that 1 hour? You will revise what was covered in the class, because we spend time in the class only because we thought it is important for this exam. Otherwise, I would have been doing something else. I would not have been taking this topic for you. Number 2 is whatever printed or in the what you call E form, the material we provide. Okay, whatever printed material we are giving, whatever E material or what PDF which you can download, that is very important. That is why we are given to you. Otherwise, we would not have been giving to you. Number 3 is your NCERT. A list of NCERT books are there. We will be even conducting tests for you. Please don't forget this. And number 4 is whatever current affairs we identify. When I say we, ALS identify and give. Okay, we will have monthly also, we may have a daily update also. We will have weekly class, everything will be discussed by Manish properly. So, we will be having, so these are the 4 things we will have to do regularly. We are not going to study anything outside this, but this should be studied and repeatedly studied. We have to revise, and repeated revision will improve your memory, and then you will be able to write the answers and all properly. So, we will stick to some basic content, and after doing all these 4, still if you have time, suppose nahi sir mere paas aur time hai, okay, you have more than 24 hours per day, and you don't sleep at all, okay, so then you do all other activities, then दूसरा institute का material, okay, and big books also, जो करना है करो. But after doing this, okay, so be very clear about this. We will be covering elaborately the class, class notes which you write. Try to write down as maximum as possible in the class. Then the printed material which we provide or what we give for downloading, and then NCERT, then the current. These are 4 things we will be doing, and we don't expect you to do more than that. Okay. Anyway, so my point here is when we will be covering all the areas. Please don't leave out any particular area. Don't say I don't like economics, don't say I don't like science. Whatever we cover, you please do, questions will come. Okay. And most importantly, in our preliminary exam, we don't require too many marks. If you look at the the previous year cutoffs, you will realize that, sorry, one second. See, this year the cutoff mark, I mean 2021 exam, which is just results came. What was the cutoff in GS? It was 87.54. Okay. Minimum marks required to qualify preliminary exam in general category was 87.54. Okay. In economically weaker section, if you have a certificate, then you have to get 80.1. OBC it was 84.85. Scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, it was 75.4 and 70.7. So, and when you talk in the general, 87. See, in fact 2020 it was 92 point something. Okay, in 2020 it was 92.5. Okay, if I should write it here, 2020 92.5, then EWS is 77. See, because EWS don't count. If you have EWS certificate, by next year I think it will be almost same, because first couple of years not many people had certificates. So some of you, them who managed, they could get through with lesser marks. Now that is not going to happen in future, it will come up. OBC was 89.12, scheduled caste was 74.8, scheduled tribe was 68.7. So 19 maybe, general was 98. Okay, so we can see before that also around 98. So what I am trying to tell you is, in preliminary also we don't have to get 100 out of 100. We can make many mistakes. We can still get through. So if you are talking about 87, of course it is one of the lowest, I believe. It cannot be that low in future. So at least say around 90. 90 means we are talking about 45 questions correct out of 100. After deducting all minus marks, you should get, because 2 marks per question. So 45 questions should be correct. So see, and now to achieve 45, that means if 10 questions are coming from a particular area, say from history. This time history was not very easy, it was considered to be very tough history questions. Okay. Now out of this 10 questions, we can easily leave out some questions. So how many to appear? I always say that don't appear more than 80, 10 means 8. You can leave out 2 questions because it may be very tough, and then also you can make mistakes. How many correct? I will say at least you try to get 6 correct. You can make 2 wrong. So our strategy, that is why I am saying study all areas. In every area there will be some easy questions. We should be able to get those easy questions. In every area there will be some tough questions, we will leave them. So our strategy is how much to appear. Don't forget 75 to 80 questions. Accuracy, it should be at least 75%, 75 to 80% accuracy. That means if you attempt 4 questions, 3 out of 4 should be correct. That should be our strategy. Okay. So when you attempt our preliminary or other NCERT tests also, please make sure that you are not making too many negative marks. You can make 1 mistake in every 4 questions you mark. If your number of mistakes are more than that, you have to be careful, you have to learn how to minimize it, and that should happen right from the beginning, right from the first NCERT test. Please make sure that you are not making more than one error out of 4 questions. Okay. So, this is very important in our exam, and I have seen a candidate, one candidate came and told he got 53 questions correct. Then I said, you should 100% get through the exam, preliminary 1 in 9 is I am not. Why? Because he attempted 95 questions. So, how many wrong? 40, if 95 questions we have attempted, 42 questions wrong, sorry, 42 wrong. Okay. 42 wrong means divided by 1/3 marks you will lose, 42 divided by 3, how much is that? Almost 14 marks he lost. 53 minus 14, how much is that? 39. 39 into 2, 78. 78 is not sufficient to get through the exam. So, after getting 53 questions right, if you are still failing this exam, it is only because of poor strategy. You cannot make this kind of errors. So, one big thing right from the beginning, I am reminding you, whenever you write the test, in NCERTs and all you can appear more, I have no problem, because you are already given the syllabus and you are reading that NCERT book, and that was 6th standard, 7th standard and all. So, naturally you should be able to, you can appear more, but formula is you cannot make more than one mistake in 4 questions. If it is more than that, you are getting more negative marks and you are losing out because of your poor. So, your strategy is 100 questions attempt in final exam, not more than 75 to 80 and 75% accuracy, you will 100% clear this exam. Suppose you attempted 75 questions, the lowest, and you just got only 75% accuracy. So, how many questions right? It will be approximately 52, 53 questions. And how many wrong? 75 and 53, 22 wrong, is it not? 22 wrong. So, divided by 3, 7, you will lose 7, 53 minus 7, that is 46, 92, still you will get through. I mean the worst scenario I am talking, if you are just attempting 75 questions and you made only just 75% accuracy, still you will be making it, there is no problem. But if you increase the the chances of the errors, if more errors are there and less questions you are attempting, you will fail. Suppose you attempt only 70, then you will fail this exam, because you need to attempt a minimum number of questions and minimize the mistakes. So, anyway, so preliminary, this is how it is there, and as I told you, these are the the subjects, all areas we have to study, we cannot choose anything, you cannot pick and choose from the topics which we teach. So, that is the first part, and CSAT I already said 3 areas, reading comprehension is there, some maths is there and some reasoning is there. So, we have divided. Now, coming to the main exam, paper 1, we have history and culture. This includes some world history also, please go through the syllabus, you will understand. Then we have geography and we have social issues. Okay, that is the breakup of paper 1, and out of this, see, all papers have 20 questions each. History and culture, it is for 75 marks. Geography, it is for 100 marks, and social issues for another 75. Okay. So, this 6 question, number of questions if you are writing, you have to write 6 questions from history, 8 questions from geography, and again another 6 questions from social issues. That is how the questions will be divided, because some questions are of 150 words, some questions are of 250 words. That is what it has been asked recently. Last 3-4 years they are regularly asking like this. So, you will study the entire history, right from ancient, medieval, modern, world history. Finally, you will get 6 questions. And if you don't know those 6 and if you know everything else, your life is gone, or one attempt is gone. Okay. Sometimes this is what happens, because we have no choice. So, we have to write all. So, if you don't know even one question out of that 6, that is a big loss for us. Okay. That is paper 1. Coming to paper 2, we have Constitution of India, number 2 governance, number 3 some social justice, then the government schemes and programs and all, where to ensure that equality is achieved and all. So, that is what we call it as social justice. And number 4 international relations, bilateral issues, international institutions, in Constitution you can expect questions worth 75 to 90 marks. Okay, 75 to 90. Governance around 50. International bilateral again 50 fixed. Social justice can again be around 75, 60 to 75. कितना आएगा? 100, 175, 75 to 90. वो भी ऐसे कर दो. So, this polity and constitution, about the government, governance also. Then here, 4 questions from India and its neighbors, Indo-Pak relation, India-China, okay, or maybe India-Afghanistan, India-Sri Lanka, or these days problems in Ukraine, or about UN, all these put together. Here we have 4 questions. Constitution, it is 6 to 6, 7, this is 4, is again around 6, 6, 7, something like that. So, 12 plus 4, 16 plus 4, 20. So, that is paper 2. So, mostly polity and constitution related, governance, constitution, governance, even social justice, again government schemes and programs. So, government elimination of poverty, this, that. So, so it is more about political science and maybe public administration related areas, no doubt. Paper 3 in the main exam, there are 3-4 areas, or rather 5 areas. One is economics. Second area is economics as well as a bit of geography. We would like to call it as geoeconomics. This is related to agriculture, subsidy, maybe infrastructure, irrigation, infrastructure, all these areas. Okay. So, that is why I am clubbing it as a bit of geography is also there, a bit of economics is also there. It is not pure economics, it is not pure geography, it is in between. The third area is disaster management and environment. That is also linked to geography, we can say, but like question on floods, question on drought, question on landslide, all these that is disaster management, environment related. Number 4, science and tech. Some developments, latest developments in science and technology in and around us. And number 5, internal security. Cyber security, border management, okay, all these areas. So, all these 5 areas you will get questions worth 50 marks each. For 50 marks means 4 questions each. They have standardized it, that is why I am very confidently telling this. Last for 3-4 years, they have finally arrived that yes, this is how questions will be coming. 4 questions will be on internal security, 4 questions will be on science and technology, 4 questions will be on environment and disaster management, 4 on agriculture, irrigation, infrastructure, power and all those, geography and economics put together. So, if you look this way, among all the 3 papers which we have discussed right now, geography and environment, okay, if you can club that, even geoeconomics also, if you look that way, this will come to almost geo plus environment is almost 200 marks. Okay, you can say 200 nahi 150, geoeconomics, if you then OB nahi, tabhi 120. So, but history is very vast, but only 75. Economics again, pure economics may be 50, but if you club all these things, it will be more. You know. So, that is how the pattern. And paper 4, that is ethics, which is not there. Ethics है या नहीं पूछेगा तो बहुत मुश्किल है. Ethics, attitude, aptitude, all put together. Again, here the questions are interesting, where the theory related, or rather you are asked to explain and all. Normally 13 questions into 10 marks. That is, I will say theory, where definition is asked and what is attitude, what is aptitude, like that, maybe some quotation is given, what is the meaning of that. So, 130 marks. And then case study, you are given a situation, a paragraph is given, you are asked, if you are in that situation, what will you do, and give explanation to that. So, like that, you will get 6 case studies of 20 marks each. That is for 120, so total is 250. Okay. So, 10 marks question means how many words? 150 words. Okay. So, 10 marks is 150. Here you are asked to write in around 200 250 words. So, this paper is not that difficult. Once you know the basics, basic meaning and all, we can easily write. Even case study, you know the answer. If you are in that situation, what you would have been doing ideally, that is what you should tell. But writing the answer is not the issue, but justification is the issue. How in so many words, if you have to write in say 150 or 200 words, why will I do this? Okay. Suppose you find a person lying on the road after an accident, you are going for UPSC interview. So, what will you do? Okay, you are rushing to UPSC interview, itna mehnat karke finally you are going to the interview. On the way you found somebody, accident victim there, and nobody is there to take care. So, what will you do? You will say that मैं UPSC exam छोड़ देता हूँ, इसको बचाना है मुझे. Okay, और मैं बोलूँ नहीं यार, मेरा लाइफ इतना मेहनत किया, इसको मरने दो. Let me become IAS. So, what will you do? Don't tell me. Okay. झूठ मत बोलना मेरे, बोलेगा तो झूठ बोलेगा. So, नहीं, what will be the answer? तो तुम्हारे ethics नहीं है, मेरे ethics. Okay. So, we will talk, chinta mat karo. So, but whatever you write, there is nothing called a 100% right answer or 100% wrong answer in this. Okay. You have to justify with logic and you have to justify. Anyway, so this is justification is the most difficult part. Otherwise, answers we know, it is not that difficult to find an answer. So, that is paper 4, and paper 5 or the other paper is essay paper. We have to write 2 essays. There is another exercise which we will have to do, 125 marks each, and each essay we have to write in 1.5 hours, and you are asked to write in 1000 to 1200 words. Okay. So, that is our essay, that is how the 5 papers are there. Then of course, you have compulsory English and language, that is 8th standard level. Okay. Please do not forget English and Hindi or any other regional language you are taking, it is 8th standard level. Please download previous year questions and just see at least for once in the beginning itself. There should not be any problem in getting that minimum pass mark of around 80 or 90 marks out of 300, which is easy, but still if you have a doubt, then you have some writing practice. English will not be a problem for you, but maybe the other language could be a problem for some of you. For that you need some writing practice, that is the only thing required. Okay. So, that is the situation as far as this English and Hindi paper is concerned. Other 7 papers, and then 1 optional subject and 2 papers of that you will have to select. Optional should be, we will talk about that, how to select optional once again, maybe tomorrow in discussion we will be doing that. Okay. So, I will stop here, and thank you for controlling your kidney and bladder. So, if today you can sit, in future also you can sit, that is not a problem. So, whatever doubts you have, I did not ask many doubts today. If you have some doubts, we will answer. So, tomorrow we will be talking about the syllabus a bit more widely. The other teachers also will pitch in. They will explain about the approach toward all these areas a bit in brief, so that you will get a picture of the whole paper. So, the history and maybe the ethics teacher, all of them may be giving a small presentation for some minutes. Of course, Manish will be there. So, we will try to introduce other teachers also tomorrow, and day after we will be having a course blueprint, or rather exactly what we do, when we do what, all those things will be discussed day after tomorrow. So, these are important discussions, and even if you have heard earlier, my suggestion is you come and sleep here. Otherwise, you would have been sleeping at home, but sleep here, no problem. Okay. But in meantime, while sleeping also something will go to your head, that is not going to be a problem, right. So, please come, do not skip, do not tell me that I know everything, you do not know anything, hame mat samjhao. Even if you know everything, you come and sit. Okay. It will be a reinforcement of what you know. So, make sure that you are not missing out, and immediately after these 2 more sessions, which we believe, I mean, in fact, if you ask me, even if you miss a couple of classes in international relations and bilateral relations which I take, I do not mind, because udhar se question aana koi zaruri nahi hai. There is no guarantee that questions will come from where I teach. But if you fail in the strategy, if you miss out in some of these things, and just imagine that candidate who came from Chennai only to meet and then tell that I have never taken a test in exam condition in the last 3 years, and all 3 preliminaries she failed. So, I felt so bad. Good knowledgeable people fail only because of poor strategy and lack of understanding, and this civil service exam is not an exam where the solo game will work. If you think you are a solo player and solo trekking towards North Pole and South Pole, such people will not clear civil service exam. Okay, your individual brilliance have a lot of limitation. There, some or other strategy, these kind of strategies which we discuss, it will help. That is where the institutes will come and help. Anyway, you will have to study, I have no doubt regarding that. But if you study the right way, the right material, the right content, the right strategy, success will be easier and faster. Otherwise, it will be a very painful affair. So this preparation can be made a bit joyful if you have the right strategy. Otherwise, a painful process will be going on, yet results will not be there. So it can be very, very disastrous for you ultimately. Anyway, so that is the idea. Please come to the class on time. Timing, I am very particular, I am a bit finicky, I am a bit पागल भी हूँ इस मामले में. बाद में मत बोलना ये आदमी ठीक नहीं है, मैं ठीक नहीं हूँ. Okay, अभी इस एज में I cannot change. You better change. अभी भी टाइम है तुम्हारे पास, तुम्हारे 20 is the right time to change. Okay, जो भी हरकत जो बचपन में करता था, let us change. And there will be test. Will there be test? Every week we will have test. Don't worry, अभी we will give you the list. अभी चाहिए test? नहीं, अभी नहीं, मैं कल लिखूंगा. Okay, so this कल, one day we will stop this कल and it will be today. We will do that also. Every week we will have tests. Every week we will have current affairs. We will explain all those things. Very important. If you are along with us, it's very easy. This preparation it will be fun. And if you are away from us, it may be a bit pain. So let us do it systematically and properly. Thank you.